Hello there, and welcome to another edition of the Jobless Youth video log. I said I'd start updating this a bit more frequently, and here we are, 2 days and 2 vlogs. I don't expect it to last though, because the only reason I'm able to do this is because I've written an article on it before, so yeah. Anyway, today I want to talk about starting up your own business. A lot of young people out there they have entrepreneurial skills. They're well established. They know what they want to do, when they want to do it. I've got a friend in York at the moment who's starting up his own photography business. He's looked into the costs, he's weighed it up, he's currently doing freelance, and it's going great for him. I've also got a female friend over in Lancashire. I know us Yorkshires don't tend to have very many friends in Lancashire, but there are a few exceptions. And she's starting up her own artistry business. She's only just starting out, so I'll let you know how that goes for her. But yeah, like I said, this is going to be a post about business. If you've looked into it, then fair enough, click off now, because it's not going to be of any extra use to you. But yeah, I did a bit of extensive research into this myself, and this is basically everything I've found condensed as much as possible. Now, bearing in mind, for any of these businesses, you need some sort of public liability insurance. You need liability insurance because if one of your products harms a member of the public, even if they're not a customer, you are in for some serious crap. If you don't have insurance, they can claim anything up to 3 million, which is a hell of a lot of money when you're only just starting a business. I mean, the first thing that I came across when I was researching into this is an ice cream or refreshment stand. Now, don't get me wrong, the ads say easy money, and it is if you know what you're doing. They say easy money, you'll make it all back within a week, but you have to ask yourself, where are you getting the stock from? There's the issue in most towns that you need a trader's license, or you need a guaranteed patch to sell from. You need to contact the council, sort out an area you can pitch, and you need a trader's license. If you're selling refreshments or ice cream, if you're actually handling the food, you also need to pass your health and hygiene, sometimes a city and guilds even, before you can trade. It's not a good thing to go into, is ice cream. And fair enough, if you want to go into dishing out ice cream, that's up to you. There can be a lot of money made, but you need to shell out a hell of a lot of money beforehand, and you might not sell your stock, and come the end of the tourist season locally, there won't be a lot of trade. So some of your stuff will go out of date, and you've got to just write it off completely. The second thing I've come up with personally, I did used to work for an open-top tour bus company. I've actually worked for two. So the main thing I am good at is giving tours, knowing about tours. I like the idea of doing it. You can do it through any mode of transport. It doesn't have to be a bus, but you do need to do your CPC licence if you're driving a larger vehicle. I mean, there's plenty of other things you can use. You can use a boat, which it's easy regulations. The problem is it's not cheap. It's also not cheap to run. You need somewhere to moor it, you need your health and safety stuff, you need life jackets, you need a PA system throughout it. If you've got the money, do it. But if you're in a position where you're jobless, you're probably not going to have the money to start up a business like that. There's also going to be the fact that you might not have an audience to do a boat tour. You might not have an audience to do any tour. I'm just coming from the point of view of York. I mean, you've got Chester, Lincoln, all of which have different tours going on. And you can always add to that, but you are always going to be competing against the other people, no matter how niche your product is. The one that appeals to me the most is a bicycle or a pedicab or something similar to that. Now, being someone who cycles around a lot, I'm pretty fit. I could probably get away with it. You can carry anything up to 8 people without needing your CPC licence that I mentioned before. Depending on how you work it, you might need a couple of trailers with seats on. In a train, some speciality gearing, electric assist motor. These are all things you can look up yourself. I'm just giving ideas to what I've done myself. Electric assist motor costs about £200-300 on top of the normal outlay. Speciality gearing, depending on the amount that you want to spend, it can be anything from £15 to £1,400 on different levels of gearing. Alternatively, you could let people drive around the tour themselves, cycle around the tour themselves, and give them hands-free radios. But if they run off, you've got to compensate for that. You've got to compensate for a deposit. You've got to sort out pricing. Will people be able to cycle a distance that you're comfortable at? It's extremely difficult to plan a tour. As I said, I've been doing tours for 3 years, so I know roughly what I'm doing, and I find it extremely difficult. There is also the fact that for one of those cargo tricycles or passenger tricycles, you can expect to pay up to £6,500. I have never earned more than £6,500 in my entire life, let alone been able to save that much up to start a business. I mean, the obvious ones that you could do, anything involving equipment, again, you need insurance, you need public liability insurance, but if you know what you're doing, it is easy money. I've got another friend out in Manchester who has his own computer repair business, and I'm not going to say that he's raking it in, but he's definitely making enough to get by. He has a part-time job as well, but his main source of income is from fixing computers for other people. I mean, you could do landscaping, gardening, DIY, cleaning, computer repair, obviously. It's easy money if you know how. The problem is someone else has had exactly the same idea as you at some point, or they're already trading with the same idea as you. It's a case of you need to find a gap in the market rather than find something you're good at and go out and do it. It's not a case of whether you can do the job, because you probably can if you're thinking of starting a business in it. It's whether you can do it better or cheaper than the other people that are doing it. I mean, one thing in York, I know there's a couple in Cambridge, a couple in London, you could do courier work, start your own business in that, but then again you've got the initial outlay, anything up to £1,000 for a cargo bicycle. About the same for a van if you're doing man in the van job, but of course if you've got your Class C licence, which you need for a van, a lot of people are recruiting for things like that, so you wouldn't need to start up your own business. And man in a van jobs, they exist, but it is highly competitive, especially down south. But if you can find a niche within a product market, go for it, because like they say, someone will buy it, even if it's not a lot at first. Someone will buy it, word of mouth will spread. As I've said, I've had plenty of business ideas, party planning, I even thought about being an Avon lady at some point, but I've never had the money to outlay to start the business, to get the money in. That is my problem, hence why I am still job hunting. If you're good at something, go for it. If you're not so good at something but you want to learn, do a course in it. You may be able to start your own business, you may be able to piggyback off someone else. I know that when I was working for one of the open top buses, the ice cream idea was in the pipeline. Sell ice creams, promote the tour on the move. Of course that company no longer exists, so I can tell you their plans. Yay. But yeah, if you're looking to do something, don't hold back, just go out and do it, because you get the poor sods like me who can't afford to do it. And then you get the people with no balls who just think, oh, I won't be able to do it. You never know until you give it a go, right? Of course, there are other people out there who are in the similar situation to me. They've got no money, no savings, and in that case, well, I don't know why you've been watching this, really. But anyway, to everyone out there, do a bit of research. If you can get into it, it's brilliant. If you can't, well, you can't say that you haven't tried. Anyway, good hunting.